But we are joined now by Mike Hurst, who's the general counsel for the Republican National Committee and also serves as chairman of the Mississippi Republican Party, which was also suing alongside the RNC to get this law kicked out. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Broadly explain the argument for why you want this law to go away.
Well, I think it comes down to three things. It comes down to restoring trust in our electoral system, providing confidence to voters that their vote's going to count, and then finally giving finality and certainty to people that the election is complete and that the ballot box is secure. And I think that's the point in doing this. As Jessica said, yes, the Constitution gives states the ability to regulate elections, but the Constitution also says that Congress has the ultimate word in saying what that is. And here, for 180 years, Ed, Congress has said Election Day in federal elections means Election Day, not a grace period, not election period, not election week, not election month. Election Day means Election Day.
But what it says is Election Day is that first Tuesday of November.
That's right.
Why not just push Congress to pass a law that more explicitly lays this out?
How many times do we have to ask Congress to pass laws? They've passed a law. It says Election Day.
Well, they didn't pass it. It was in the Constitution. That's
No, they passed the law that says Election Day is Election Day in 1845. And they came back in 1872 and said Election Day, again, is Election Day. Now, states have done different things over the years, but for 180 years and then reaffirmed 150 years ago, Congress said, hey, guys, Election Day means Election Day.
You know, there's somebody out there watching going, wait a second, this guy's a Republican lawyer working for a state Republican party and the Republican National Committee, and I thought Republicans were the party of states' rights and that this kind of stuff was supposed to be left to the states.
Yep.
What's your beef with this part of letting a state figure things out?
I'm the party of constitutionalism, and the Constitution says what it says. It says the states absolutely can regulate this, but it also says Congress has the ultimate say. And at the end of the day, whether you're states' rights or not, we should all be hoping that our justices interpret the Constitution as it is written.
You sat through this argument today.
I did.
She says 4-3-2. What do you think?
It's really great questions. You know, Justice Gorsuch really brought out the fallacy in the state's argument that once a ballot is cast, that means once the voter marks the ballot and hands it off to the postal system, then that's an election. Now, what happens if that ballot never makes it to the government? There's no election. Absolutely. Yeah. And Gorsuch asked rightly that not only do you have post offices open 24 hours a day in Chicago, no voting fraud would ever happen in Chicago, I know, but you have...
That's meant as sarcasm.
You have 24-hour voting in Chicago, and the Postal Service allows the voter to recall his vote.
Right.
So how is it final if the voter is able to recall his vote? How is that an election? It's not.
Clarify real quick. What if you're someone in the military trying to cast the ballot from overseas?
I was asked that question today, and here's the deal. Our men and women in military, in a uniform, they know better how to meet a deadline than you and I do. If we are saying to them that they can't cast a ballot in time, I think we're talking down and we're condescending to our soldiers.
What if they're otherwise engaged on the battlefield and weren't able to send it in?
Well, I think they can. And I think here's the deal. The fallacy with that argument is if they send it in and it's accepted on the 6th day in Mississippi, it's destroyed. It's out. Right. So why do we have 5 days and not 6 days? In the state of Illinois, you have 14 days. State of Washington, you have no deadline.
Because of the rolling aspect of what they do.
So where does it end? I mean, we say it has to end when Congress says it ends.
Real quick, is there anything in what the president calls the Save America Act that would more explicitly address this so that perhaps the courts don't have to?
No, I don't think it is, but I think it's important that we pass the Save America Act because at the end of the day, part of this case that we argued before the Supreme Court today is about election integrity, and voter ID is all about election integrity.
All right. That is a debate that will continue as well. Mike Hurst, thanks for stopping by. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll probably end up talking to you about this again closer to when that decision comes down.